If you're an adult with ADHD, you may want to read my book, Living Well with ADHD, and let me tell you why. There are a lot of good books on ADHD as a disorder, a disability, an obstacle, a problem. This is not one of those books. My book is less of a disability perspective and more of an ability perspective. My book is about how to accept your good brain and live well with it. The book is user-friendly for people with ADHD. The print's a little bit larger than in many books. There's plenty of space in between lines, so visually it's attractive and can hold your attention. It's a little more than 140 pages, so it's a book that you'll finish. Let me tell you what's in it. The first chapter, Who You Are and Who You're Not, is about all of the things that you've heard about yourself, notions that are probably not accurate. You've probably been told much of your life that you're not motivated, you're not applying yourself, you're not trying hard enough, you're lazy. And in time, you begin to say these things to yourself and then come to believe them. So this chapter is about separating out your thoughts that you've had for a long time about who you are from who you actually are. Let me tell you a little about the other chapters. You can learn more detail by going to my website, terrymhuff.com. Getting started and sustaining effort is a challenge for adults with ADHD. I have a chapter on strategies that can help you, a way to think about activating your attention, keeping the wheels on the track so you can finish what you start. There's a chapter on skillful listening and mindful speaking. When you're listening to someone, are you listening to them or are you listening to your thoughts about what the speaker's saying? There's an important difference. When you're speaking, do you lose a sense of the listener because you're in your head trying to organize your thoughts and you go down trails and leave the listener and don't pause to allow the listener to engage with you? There's a chapter on relationships. If you live with someone, they live with your ADHD and they're affected by it, much as you are. So if your partner's angry or annoyed because of some features of ADHD, it will not help you or them for you to be defensive and angry about it. This chapter helps you with what to do to improve your relationship. There's a chapter on unplugging. There's a difference between a focused attention, selective attention, some people call it, like when you're focused on reading, and open awareness, a different form of attention, where we're mindful of our surroundings, our other priorities, what time it is. If you have ADHD, you have trouble shifting back and forth between these states, so it's really an attention management disorder. So you can read more about that in the chapter Unplugging. I have a chapter called Creativity, how to unleash your creative potential. If you have ADHD, you're probably wired for creativity, but it won't matter if you don't learn how to activate and sustain your attention and effort. So you can read more about that in the chapter called Creating. Approximately 80% of adults with ADHD report that they have trouble managing their emotional life. They may be irritable, may have trouble with anger, anxiety. These shifts in emotional state are like waves that come up, and if we don't get hooked by our thoughts that are driven by those shifts in emotional state, we can have protracted feelings we have trouble unhooking from. That chapter is called The Color of Life, Living Skillfully with Your Emotions. So this book, Living Well with ADHD, is about accepting your good brain and your creative potential in order to achieve your vision.